Hey everybody, I hope that this lighting's going to be okay. I am in my basement working in my craft room, and I have told you before that the lighting in the craft room is not all that great. Um, and I'm trying to get a different light, a hanging light that goes with our ceiling fan that's down here. So I have my table light on over here, and I have as much light on as I can possibly get right now. So I hope you can see okay. All right. So what am I working on? Well, I am working on my mystical diamond art canvas that I got from Amy, the owner of Mystical Diamond Art. And this is one of the Josephine Walls that she just got in. And she has one, I have the other. I think we both talked about that in our unboxing videos. She showed you the one, I showed you this one. They're both lovely canvases. These are really nice. Um, they're a little different than some of Amy's first canvases. These don't have training wheels. These, I believe she told me, were hand charted. They're pretty special. They're pretty cool. So it's really a lovely canvas, and I'm going to enjoy working on it. Okay. So Amy, she sends her drills in bags like this. Okay. They're all in bags. And then she also sends you a sticker. Well, I took the stickers off so I could have the symbols. So I can't see it. Hang on. Sorry, I bumped you. There's the sticker. I just put the sticker right there on the top of the bag so I can tell what number it is on the canvas, 25. There's the symbol, there's the DMC code. And they're all bagged up and ready to go. This is where I have them. I have them in this box, okay? I have them in this box right here. And they're just in there in order. I just grab them, pull them out. I mean, having the symbol on it just makes it a little bit easier. So anyhow, this canvas is going to be so pretty. I am just so happy to be doing this. I am so thrilled that she gave me the opportunity to do it. Okay. Oh, you guys, I'm doing something right here I never do. I've got this great big huge multi-placer on my pen here. I never ever use this many. The biggest I normally go is four. I have a four placer. I love four placers. That's my favorite placer besides my single. I never use this many, but this canvas, at least this part I'm working on right here, has a lot of like long lines where I can just multi-place a whole bunch. So I'm giving it a go. Yep, giving it a go. So anyhow, when Amy and I started talking to her, honestly. I started talking to her and I was like, I saw those canvases coming out. I'm so excited to see those. Josephine Wall is one of my favorite artists. I can hardly wait. Um, you know, I want to unbox one on my channel, just, all that stuff. That's how it kind of came about. And she was like, hey, that might be awesome. She says, she wanted to work with somebody at one point, another creator. And I don't know, something happened and it just didn't work out. And so then she wasn't certain if she wanted to try again. And I was like, oh, I'd love to do something with you. You know, what do you have in mind? And when she first told me that she, kind of wanted to do this adult bullying thing, I thought about it for a minute and I was like, well, I know a lot about bullying um, because, I teach elementary school. We've been trained and retrained and discuss it over and over and over again. Um, but as far as adult bullying went, I thought, well, what would I really have to say? Um, I've never really been bullied as an adult, okay? But let me tell you what I do know and the things that I can share. So Bullying a few years ago became like a hot buzzword in education. Everything was about bullying and somebody's being bullied and this and that. And the term got thrown around so much that half of the things that people were coming and saying, my child's being bullied, weren't bullying at all. I mean, they were what I would call conflicts, and maybe they were repeated conflicts, but it wasn't true bullying, okay? Bullying has an actual definition. I didn't look up a dictionary definition, but I'll just tell you my definition of what bullying means based on my experiences and what I've learned, in my education. So, um, bullying is really a repeated, um, frequent attack of some sort on someone else. And it's not just that. It's really about a power. There's a power element involved in a true bully. All right. They are bigger, they're stronger, they're meaner, they have some power that they think they can exert on someone who may be more vulnerable. I don't want to say weak, it's not weak, they're just more vulnerable. Okay? So if you take children, for example, there's usually the tough guy who is mean to another kid. And if he's mean repeatedly, targeted over and over, relentlessly, nonstop attacks that just make the other person feel scared or inferior, that's a bully. Okay? So, for example, when I was in elementary school, I was either fifth or sixth grade. I can't remember exactly which grade it was. It was fifth or sixth. There was a girl. It's a girl, not a boy, a girl that would constantly harass people, other kids. She would call them names, threaten them, scare them, tell them she was going to beat them up. Sometimes she would push them, and it was just relentless. That's the thing with a bully. It's relentless. It keeps going. It goes on and on and on. Okay? Um, well, I was pretty quiet. I had a few close friends and I just hung out with them most of the time. I wasn't super popular. I wasn't super nerdy. I wasn't really anything. I was just kind of a quiet, normal kind of kid, just did my thing, never got in trouble. Okay? And I became the victim of her at one point. I became the victim. Probably because I was quiet, I didn't really say much ever, and I'm certain that she thought she could push me around. And she did for a while. She'd keep being mean to me, calling me names, threatening me, telling me she was going to meet me outside at recess on the playground, going to beat me up, all this kind of stuff. And yeah, I was scared. I was scared. I'd never argued with anybody. I'd never been in a fight with anybody. I'd never been physical. Yep, I was scared. Well, it went on and on for a while, and I just got more and more scared until the day came when she saw me on the playground and she came up to me and she was like, I'm gonna beat you up. We're gonna fight right now, today. And I was so scared. And I don't know how I did it, but I had had enough of it. And I just looked right at her and I said, no, no, we're not. We're not gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight you. I don't have any reason to fight you. It's not gonna happen. Go away. Leave me alone. I've never bothered you. Don't bother me. Just leave me alone. And she did. She left me alone. Okay? She walked away. And she never bothered me again. Now, the reason that she never bothered me again was because she thought I was just going to be this scared little thing. And I was, but, that she could push me around and intimidate me. And when I stood up for myself and said no to her, enough was enough, she was like, well, okay then. And she backed off. So that's how bullies tend to work. If they feel they can intimidate you and push you around, they will. But if they can't, or if you step up for yourself, there's no fun in it for them. Bullies are typically unhappy people. They're unhappy for some reason. Either someone in their life is mean to them, they're being bullied, or someone's being unkind to them, or nobody cares about them and they're trying to, exert some power where they may feel like they have no power in their life. It's really a lot about power and what kind of power they have over you. Okay? So if we jump to adults, there are people in our lives that can be bullies. Certainly. Significant others, spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends. They can be bullies if they're feeling the need to be in control of a situation and making you feel bad about, yourself. That's a bully. No doubt about it. That's a bully. I have not had that problem. I really haven't had anybody really torment me or be mean to me like that to the point of making me feel like I was useless. I was always my own worst critic. Nobody else was going to do that for me, really. But um, I've known people, I've definitely known people that have been in that position. Um, bosses, bosses, I have a friend in my life who had a job and had a boss that decided for some reason, I don't know what, didn't like her, didn't find any value in her, and just started to make her life miserable. Miserable, tormented, saying bad things, mean things, treating her unfairly in the workplace, just tormenting her, you know, tormented her to the point that she had a mental breakdown. Yep, had a mental breakdown and left that job and really had a hard time getting a job again after that in the workforce. That's a bully. Okay? I am fortunate to say that it really has not happened to me. I am fortunate. Um, I will say that I have had some bosses that feel that need to have power. They're on that power trip. I mean, they are placed in a position of power already because they're the boss. They hold the keys to your livelihood, to your job. And if they want things a certain way and they feel like they can push you around and make you do things the way they want you to do it, they will. Um, Even though I had some bosses that were like that, they've never really given me that hard of a time because I think they know I know what I'm doing and I'm going to call you on it and I'm not just going to sit here and, you know, take whatever you're dishing out. I'll stand up and I'll speak up for myself. And that's what you need to do when you encounter a bully. You need to just stand up for yourself and say, hey, listen, no, not happening. That's not right. Not doing it. And stand up for yourself. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. But if you don't do it, I'm afraid you'll find yourself in a situation of being taken advantage of all the time, or being made to feel inferior, useless, whatever kind of term, you think of there. So you got to just stand up for yourself. That's all there is to it, you know? Um, like I said, I've had a couple bosses that have been a little uh, demanding, a little it's my way or the highway kind of people. Fortunately for me, I have always worked under the protection of like a union, well, not always. Since I've been teaching, I've always had the backing of a union and a contract, that says this is the way things are. You can't do this, you can't do that. These are protections, this is that. So that makes it a little bit easier when you're in my position where you have that backing. If you're out, just in I work in public service really, but if you're out in the private sector, you may not have those kinds of protections, those contracts that will back you and tell you what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And if something isn't acceptable, you can fight that. You have the power to fight that. And it's happened. It happens in our, in school districts. It happens. Grievances happen, and you know, people won't just be shoved around because there are ways to do things and there are ways not to do things. Okay. Um, I thought a little bit about anything that's really struck home with me, and I don't think I can actually call it bullying. Because bullying, like I said, it has a definite definition. It's a control, it's power. And the other part of it is it's a repeated attack to the point of making someone feel less worth. I haven't really had that. I know that there are some people out in the YouTube community that have had things like that happen, where there are just people that are just going at somebody for some reason. I don't know what that is, other than um, they want to feel more powerful. They want to feel more, um, I'm good, you're not. So to make me feel good, to make me feel better, I have to make you feel bad or make you look bad to make me look better. That's kind of a little form of bullying in a different way. It's trying to use some power you think you have to make someone else not as good. You know? And I know I'm fortunate. I run my channel my way. I'm pretty soft spoken. I'm pretty low key. I don't get into drama. I don't. Sometimes I'll catch wind of something. Somebody will say something in a video or a whip and chat or something about some conflict, and I was like, I didn't know anything about that. And I'm like, I'm so happy. I'm happy I don't. That just doesn't come to my attention. You know, I'm very fortunate. I'm very happy, and I plan to keep it that way. I don't want to be in it. I don't care if what drama's going on. I mean, I care that somebody's being mean to somebody, but I try to stay out of it, keep my nose clean, and I don't want to have any of that. I live my life daily with friends and family trying to avoid all of that stuff. And I do a pretty good job. I'm pretty tactful. I'm pretty, I know how to watch my words. I'm not, I'm not one of those bold, brazen types. Not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing to be that way, but sometimes that bold, brazen front is what draws attention and may cause some of that conflict. You know, I'm not like that. I've always been the quiet one. I'm the one that just wants everybody to get along. I don't want to hassle with anything or anybody, you know. And I strive and do my best to keep it that way. Um, when I think back to like my YouTube experiences, my second video ever that I ever made that was not a YouTube video. It was not. I mean, I put it on YouTube, but it was never intended to be a channel or anything like that. It was just a video I put out there to ask the question, am I doing this right? It was a square diamond painting I was working on, and I thought it looked wrong. I thought it looked funky. Nothing was lining up right. And I just made this quick little video and I said, am I doing something wrong? Can somebody like help me out? What am I doing? Is this right? And somebody commented on that. My second video I ever made, remember that, commented very rudely, well, you're not putting them on straight. That's why it looks that way. And I was like, oh, well, that was kind of rude. It came across that way. It was rude. It was very short. It was curt. It was, wow. Okay. And I didn't say anything. I said nothing. I didn't comment. I don't even know if I knew how to comment on a video at that time. I don't know. And months went by. Nothing, not an incident. Everybody's positive, nice, polite, kind. Everything's just hunky-dory. Several months down the road, all of a sudden, I get another snarky, rude comment on a video, now that I'm actually a channel, and I recognize that person's name. It was the same person. And I was like, whoa, what is going on here? She coming at me again. Why? What have I done to her? So, of course, then I knew a little more. I went, checked out that channel, and I was like, oh, you seem like you're just a grumpy person and you're just an unhappy person. Unhappy people try to make other people just as unhappy as they are. That has been my experience in life. If you're happy and they're not, well, darn it all, how dare you be happy too? You can't be happy if I'm not happy. So they kind of make it their mission to make others miserable like they are. I think that's the kind of person that she was. She just was not a happy person. Didn't want me to be happy. Her channel wasn't all that successful. It was very small. She did weird things on her channel. It wasn't very good, you know what I mean? And maybe she was trying to make me feel bad because she was feeling bad about what she was doing or not accomplishing or whatever. Well, I did comment that time. And I did so politely and left it. I never heard from her again. I don't even go check and see if she has a channel. I just leave it alone. So there's that. That's how I tend to deal with things like that. I'll be honest in a polite and tactful way, you know, and if I feel it's something that's really not all that important, I let it go. I just let it go. If I feel that somebody has a complete wrong impression of me, which happened in a video not too long ago, somebody had a completely wrong idea or interpretation of something I said, thought I was being selfish about something. And I was like, that's not what I said. You misinterpreted that. This is what I actually meant. And I explained myself nicely. After I explained myself, this person came back and said, oh, I'm sorry. I understood that wrong. I misunderstood. I apologize. Okay, that's how you handle things. You don't come at people attacking people. You just don't. That will never get you anywhere in life except miserable. It will just get you miserable. So I recently, and I'm gonna try to say this in a broad, general way so as not to like, I'm not gonna say any names or anything like that. And if you don't try to figure it out, I'm not gonna tell you anyhow. It's just recently I went live. I haven't been able to go live very much because I haven't had good internet. But I was able to go live finally. And I asked my subscribers, when they thought was a good time to do that, when they would watch, when they would be available, that kind of thing. And based on their responses, I picked a time and I went live. And I went live for a couple hours. Okay. And we had a blast. We had a great time. It was fun. It was wonderful. It made me want to do more of that. Okay. I got a comment on that live. Very, very disgruntled about how I was stepping on someone else's toes and how rude it was of me to do that at that time. Like, I knew. How was I to know? How was I to know that someone else may possibly have gone live at that time? And even if I did know, if I was there for my viewers, what was wrong with me going live at the time somebody else did? They were my viewers that were coming to see me, right? I thought about it and I thought about it and I thought about it. I didn't respond. I didn't jump in. I didn't, respond quickly. I thought and thought and thought. And then I thought, how do I react to this? I do that. I think. I think things. I don't react quickly. I think, right? And sometimes I think so long that I don't do anything. So I just responded. I'm sorry you were upset. Unfortunately, I do not know everybody else's schedules. I did what was good for my viewers. That was it. That's all I did. I'm pretty certain that person unsubscribed from my channel, doesn't watch me anymore, may never hear this. But it's a prime example of how not to do things. Okay, if you felt that I offended you in some way or did some damage to you in some way, that's not the way to deal with it. You don't come at somebody all barrels blazing, all fired up in a rude manner. No, you don't handle things that way. You should come politely, kindly, you know, not like that, you know. But some people are just like that. Why? What was this person so upset about? What? Did they feel that I was taking a whole bunch of their viewers away? I don't know. I mean, it wasn't intentional, but they made it seem like I had done it intentionally, like I did it on purpose, and I should have known better. How rude that was. I didn't. I don't know. I don't know when everybody is out there doing things. How do you? I don't. I mean, I know like 4 or 5 people that are regular live. I know when they go on, what their schedule is, because I'm watching them. That's how I know. And they're the only ones I really know. Anybody else, I'm like, I don't know. I don't watch your channel. I don't know what you're doing. And if I don't know what you're doing, it's really not gonna affect what I want to do. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. But if you felt strongly, you could have been nice. You could have been kind and polite and tried to have a discussion with me about it or something. There's just, I don't know. What was in it for her? I don't know. Anyhow, that's been my only real experience in YouTube with like somebody just really being kind of crappy to me. And it throws me off a bit when that happens because, most people are so nice and kind. and love what I'm doing and so supportive. When you have somebody that throws a wrench in like that, then you step back for a second and go, whoa, what happened? I don't know. But that would be my only real experience YouTube wise with somebody that was just kind of, I don't know, unhappy, maybe unhappy, I don't know, with the progress on their channel versus mine. I don't know, but think, people, think before you speak. And in YouTube land, Facebook land, texting, whatever that's media, it's so easy sometimes for people to just be that way, to say things in a way that they would never say to anybody face to face with them. You're behind your device, you're not face to face with someone. It's so much easier to be rude or whatever. Don't do it. There's still people on the other end of that device. They're still people. They're humans. They have lives. You should always talk to people in a video or in a text or on Facebook comment as if they were sitting in front of you. Sorry, little glitch there. My phone stopped recording. But think about the people on the other end of your comment, no matter how you make it. Okay? For the last 2 years in my classroom, our focus has been be kind. I have a bulletin board in my room about being kind. We've read a lot of books about being kind. We talk about being kind a lot. It is something that I'm very passionate about, and I strive to try and teach that every day in some way. Just be kind. Be kind. The world needs kindness, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard to be kind. That's when it's most important. Be kind. Treat others like you want to be treated. I must say that at school, I don't know how many times. I've lost count. Treat others like you would like to be treated. If we all did that, or tried to do that as much as possible, I know it's hard. Think of how much better place this world would be if we were all kind. Treat each other like you want to be treated. On that note, I think I'm going to end here. Stay tuned for what Amy and I do next. We don't really have anything specific planned yet, but she'll have a video and I'll have a video kind of go up about the same time on this topic, and then we'll go from there as we work on these canvases and show you how they turn out. So for now, thank you for watching. I hope it wasn't too boring. I hope you got something out of it. And in a world where you can be anything, be kind. See you next time.